Hey there, I'm back with another video. I decided to do a little something different today and make my video in my room. I rearranged my room. I think I mentioned that on one of my videos a few days ago. I decided to push my bed along the wall and put like pillows alongside the wall um, because I wanted to make more space for my room. And now I have like a big open space that I can lay out like, arts and craft work or whatever it is I'm working on down on my floor. Um, I'm quite happy, okay? And then I have my desk and, everything's arranged in a way where it's just like, it's giving me new energy. That's another issue. I felt as though I was dealing with a lot of extreme boredom, so I needed a change of pace. And I do keep to myself. I pretty much stay in my room. So I needed to, make it look a little different. So it's really important that I switch things up. So anyway, I wanted to kind of go over some of these like buzz things that's been going on, right? Okay, I know that I get bored sometimes. Okay, I'm already gets bored a lot. Okay, and so if I'm not doing arts and craft, if I'm not working on content, which I have not really made any new content lately, seeing as how we already know what happened to the Swan Song Manifesto, but I have other videos I'm releasing on YouTube from the Swan Song Manifesto, so I'm just kind of kicking back and doing looking for work. Now, mind you, I only designate one day to look for work. I find it. I only look for work like once last week, and now I have to start tomorrow. Okay, and so I prefer not to really focus on it. Why? Because this is an issue that caused me a lot of trauma. This is an issue that created more drama for me than anything has ever caused. Okay, this is an issue that I felt victimized by, so it is not an easy thing for me to do. Okay, but obviously I tried making an effort to stand on my own 2 feet. Right when everybody was complaining and slagging me down, um, I said, okay, fine, then I'm going to go ahead and do something on my own because I need to make some money. Okay, so where we are right now is I am my car was repossessed about a month or so ago. I had really good credit all the way up until what's been going on with me not being able to go back to work because of an issue that was created beyond my control. So it's not about me pointing fingers, but obviously there's a lot that I have to deal with because of me being caught up in a network that I didn't ask for. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about real networks, like rep networks that work correctly. Okay. And I mentioned this before about, networks and how they're supposed to work and how they should work. Okay. Your network should be a group of professional people coming along together to meet each other's goals and refer other people to other opportunities, right? That's the idea behind it. Okay. So ideally, everybody knows each other. Okay, this is like these what if scenarios. Like, what if I had a real network, a real professional network, meaning professional to the point where they would know not to have like thrown me into this like ditch. But anyway, what it is like, your professional network knows your skill set. They know your experience. They know that you've been through. They know your likes. They know your wants. They know the kind of environment that you'd be fit for. Okay, so they know the people within another group of people that they can interconnect with. Okay, and it's wonderful that way. You know why? Because if it's a vast network of people, then they could expand your opportunities and get the correct fit, ideally. And also, if your network is really a good network, okay, you would not have to experience credit problems because your network would make sure that you get to work on time. Okay, they are concerned about what you need to go through because it's their professional reputation is on the line. It's better to know that this particular person that you worked with in your network was somebody who always came through for you. Instead of like letting you lag, letting you fall behind, letting you lose your car. Because see, there was an issue of religion that was thrown into it, okay? Which made these people feel justified in their way of bullying when I was telling these people that this was illegal in the first place. So, I want to talk a little bit about, the network that didn't appreciate me, okay? Or give me any credit or recognize me in any way and who dehumanize me because of the Nazi behavior. So I was listening to some of these videos on YouTube, right? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, what is it that people are saying about me, right? Because I don't really pay attention, but as I lay down, there's nothing else to do. I'm going to indulge myself. What is it that people are saying? And so, I hear that right now. A lot of people are talking about me not just kind of being quiet, like I'm not saying anything. Like I'm not talking about and I had already mentioned this before in one of my videos. I'm not making any concrete plans. Okay, I'm doing my job search. I'm, doing a little this. I'm doing a little that. I'm not trying to be like, one upping somebody or trying to conceal anything. I don't have, I have dealt with a situation where every time I tried to stand up, there was some sort of bullshit excuse as to why I can't do it or whatever. Kingdom spouse, somebody, some girl's jealous. My sister is whatever. It's always or some that I'm supposed to be possessed by the devil, or people aren't supposed to talk to me. Just stupid, weird cult bullshit that I've had to deal with. Okay, stupid stuff. Okay. And if a cult, I mean, if a network is associated with you, that it is not consensual, okay, you are probably a victim of human trafficking. So, like, if I was working with a professional network, I would not be in this situation. So, the reason why I'm very quiet is because, just like I said, I don't have any master plans. I'm coasting. I am literally coasting. I'm not trying to be deceitful. I'm not trying to hide anything. Because people on YouTube, they kind of imply that I'm just like, what's the word for it? Um, like I'm moving in silence. Okay, there's been times where I basically say, hey, I'm going to have this Patreon channel, or I'm going to open up this Ko-fi channel because I'm not working and I need to make an income. That's pretty much the bare bottom line. That's what I would say. People knew this, okay? So it's pretty cut and dry. But of course, that would get squashed, right? And their excuses were bullshit. It was based on me either them thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't go to one of their 4-year schools, okay? Which is bullshit. Which is it's the constant bullying and harassment. Now, mind you, these sort of like platforms do not ask for that information when you jump on it. But it was a campaign to try to smear me, to make it seem as though I was not a person of any value whatsoever. Okay, and this has a lot to do with some sort of vendetta that people had against me that I knew nothing about, right? So when I think about the whole issue of people creating problems for me, entanglements out of literally nowhere, other than them just digging it up at their ass and then pulling it out and presenting it on the table. Okay? Because literally there's no way in the world I did not deserve in any way, shape, or form any of the garbage that was handed to me. Okay? So the reason why I'm not making any videos is because I pretty much said everything. I've already summed it up. The thing is, it's like, there is no plan. Here's the plan. I'm looking for work on on certain days of the week. Well, only one day of the week. I'm not going to overexert myself. Okay. I remember sending out thousands of emails. Okay, resumes, piles of it. Had to take it to the shredder. Okay, because of their abuse. I remember, going on job interviews where people were wasting my time because they were wanting to racially harass me over my hair. Okay, I remember all of the nightmares. I remember all the drama. Okay, so it's not like I don't. I'm just. I don't really need to get that focused on it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I know, what I know? I know that I can keep my head up in all of this. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay? I am 100% innocent, and there's nobody who could say any different. Okay? And I know that I've dealt with bullying, about people trying to censor me. I've dealt with people. So, and to answer the question, there's really nothing else to say. Because I have been talking to an audience where, I don't really know who's really watching. Most of the time it's perps. And I do get some comments every once in a while, okay? But, I deal with situations that I shouldn't have to deal with. I deal with harassment, and I deal with people who do not understand me, and we are never going to be on the same wavelength. I've dealt with people who have dealt things and did things to me that to me are so abusive that I have no interest in having that second chance. Or even, I would never even consider forgiving these people. Now I hear like there's some buzzwords, like I've heard some people doing videos about me saying, oh, here's, sometimes people like to, um, this is what it really is, okay? I am disturbed about the entire thing. I am not happy that I got dragged into something like this. I feel like it's a dark thing. I feel like it's a corrupt thing. I feel it's like a disease, okay? And I understand that I was raised in an environment that was very mind controlled, and there was a lot of inhumane things that I had to experience because of it, okay? And it's very shocking that we're just wrapping this up in 2024, okay? And I understand that I live in a world where I struggle because I tell the truth. Okay, everything that I've dealt with things I should have not have dealt with because of racism, for things that are always beyond my control. I have been a target of hate for many years in my life. Okay, that was orchestrated and approved by special people. Okay, at one time, and people fell for it. I am a victim, a what do you call it, a campaign smear. That was a nightmare. Okay, and I didn't deserve it. So, what do you say to people that you could not like anymore? Very little. So that's one of the reasons why I'm moving on and just uploading videos that I had in my content. I'm making this right here because I hear somebody. I'm clarifying some stuff, okay? Because yeah, like I said, I'm literally taking one day at a time. I don't have a master plan. Things are what they are. I can't change that. I can't change it. I can't change how corrupt people are. I can't change how wicked people are. When I think about this issue, it's dark to me. It is dark, and I can't, I don't know how else I can describe it. It's dark, it's wicked, it disturbs me, and it disturbed me for a very long time. And the sad part is, as I'm talking about this, like I said, because I've dealt with people who are sadistic, okay, that they get off on this sort of stuff. Okay, so, this is how I feel about it. Okay, but I am in no way, I'm just like literally interested in discussing things that I've made, like my work, my art. That I wouldn't even call it art. Okay, I know that people wanted to classify me as an artist. This entire group, this network that I was associated with, it was no good for me. It was no good for me, and it was an unworkable situation. Okay, there's also been like people implying that I'm loving people from a distance. No, I'm not. I'm not loving people at all. Okay, people who did this to me, okay, whether they're my blood relations or what, you know what I mean? It's like, they owe me the I don't want to hear apologies. That I don't want to hear that. Okay, when people go too far, I do not want to hear apologies. Okay, if you did something wrong, fix it. Fix it, okay? But like I said, before, in one of my videos that I made many years ago, okay, there's certain things that you can do to a person where you can damage a person, to the point of where they can no longer function the same anymore. And I believe that I've gotten that point. I don't really drive that much anymore. I don't drive now because I don't have a car either. Okay, but I know that, there were times where I did have it. It was parked in the parking lot. I would still walk. I know that I have like neurological problems because of the shit that these people cause. These people cause severe damage. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that we talk talk about workplace bullying. Oh, and they make it like it's a bad thing, but they don't talk about just how bad it really is. Okay, it's bad. So my silence is basically saying there's really nothing left to say. There's nothing left to say. It's like you showed your true colors. I don't have any reason to say shit to any of these people. Okay, now I understand that I'm one of these one-of-the-kind people. They make it seem like they've always made it seem like I'm so different. Like I'm so different. Okay, yeah, I am intelligent, okay? And I am a black woman. I do have a lot of things, unique traits. I do, okay? But they try to vilify and make it seem like I was just such a bad person. I'm so different. Knowing good and well, a lot of these people that hate me so much are sitting here copying me in my behavior and everything else. Okay, I don't want to go into all of that. But my thing is that you know, my silence is me. I don't even give a shit. That's my attitude at this point, and it should have been that way from the very get go. Why? Because you know I exerted a lot of effort. You know, because I felt as though you know I am that kind of person. I know what and who I have in my corner. I know that I'm all by myself in this world. I don't have anyone. Okay, I was dealing with a targeting in a racist targeting program, and people were basically making light of the situation that I was raised in a fake family. They thought this is so twisted that somebody would even exploit somebody like me, but they felt justified in it because they were brainwashed. You know what I mean? That to me is dangerous. Okay, so I don't have anything to say. You know what I mean? Not to these people. I'm now trying to figure out what do I have to say to anybody at this point. I don't really feel like I have shit to say. Honestly, I don't. Like, I look at certain people and I'm just like, you're disgusting to me. You're evil. And I try really hard, as much as I try to. Yeah, I'm the kind of person I'm like, okay, wait, I need to understand where was their mind when they did this? What were they thinking when I try very hard. Everybody knows. Who knows me personally? Okay, like if you were to ask my ex-husband, he may sit here and try to act like he's got reason to justify it, but he deep down he knows he has no reason to have anything against me. And if he does, you know, then it's his own fucking problem. Okay, but he knows I'm the kind of person, I've always been the kind of person that I would try to analyze a person's heart condition. What is it that they were doing when they did this decision? People know I am a just person. I try to be. Okay, and this is what I've always been like. Okay, so when I sit here and think about year after year after year, people wanted to see me suffer. Just like my sister had her reasons for sitting back, watching me suffer, watching me go from job interview. She wanted to justify it in her mind that I should be blamed for her inability to love herself. That's not my fucking problem. It's not my fucking problem. Okay? I believe I'm going to take care of myself the way that I'm going to take care of myself. Okay? And no, it's not something that warrants being abused. Okay, but why my sister thinks it's okay to abuse me? Because she participated in a Nazi experiment. An experiment that was really against black people being an intelligent race. Okay, so in her, but she hated herself so much that she was going to join forces with Nazis. Oh yes, she was. And she was doing it happily. Because even though it was a sick and twisted plot, she felt good about it because, you know what? She always envied me in the first place. So it felt really good for them to treat me like shit. Okay? This was, to me, to throw something like this out in the public, it is more than socially irresponsible. Okay? It is a dirty moral stain on whoever thought that that was a good idea. Joseph Mengele, dead. Is he cloned again? I don't know. Keep your fucking distance. That's all I gotta say about that. But anyway. I did get a few intuitive messages. I know something, a little buzz has been going on around me. And I know that people are associating me with walking away from this whole issue with the celebrities and stuff like that. It was not a difficult choice to do. These people were like hovering around me and then like not communicating with me, playing games. I don't have time for games. I don't have time for people who think it's okay to trivialize my life. My life is important. Whether these people didn't think it was or not. You know what I mean? They believed in the rumors or the exaggerated truths that went on in England or whatever. Yeah, there's some truth to just about every elaborate lie, even. You know, yeah, I did come to the United States. Yeah, I probably did. You know what I mean? You know, come out of my body or haunt or come disturb because of the whole issue, the whole cloning issue. All of that stuff was wrong to me. Okay, and it shouldn't just be wrong to me either. If you really dig into it, it's pretty weird in the first place. Okay, but I was basically bearing the what do you call it? The smear, the burden of somebody else's filth, just because I had no reason to have to put up with that. Neither did my father. You know what I mean? And so when I think about it, it's very sad. Anyway, but yes, people do know that I have basically I don't, and there is no loving people from a distance. The people try to really. There's people. I really hate it when people try to sugarcoat this issue. This is not an issue to sugarcoat on any level. Okay, someone disrespected me. Someone wore my father down to the ground to make him die, to scatter his brain. I will never take this lightly, and I am never going to sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I still love you." No, I do not. It is impossible, so don't even ask for it. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, that's not to say that there's not, certain celebrities that I still admire, and this is the reason why I kept saying I do not want to know what these people are like. There are certain reasons why I didn't follow up on certain emails. There are certain reasons why, because I figured some of these people were a part of this smear campaign or this sort of enjoyment, this sick cult type activity that I don't really want to get drawn into. I remember talking to one singer from the 70s, very popular in the 70s, and he was basically saying that his manager didn't think it would be a good idea for him to associate with me, probably because of his religion. Okay, and I wasn't putting two and two together at the time about the Prince Alamehu, the CB Braganza tragedy, and all this other stuff. There has always been this big religious hate campaign that's very much closely associated with white nationalistic views that has been against me, and so many white people joined and jumped a bandwagon. Okay, which opened my eyes to the vast amount of racism that so many people have denied in this country. Okay, undeniable. Okay, I did nothing. Nothing. Okay, like I said, the story is very simple. Maria grew up in Lancaster. Maria moved to Bakersfield. Why? Because she wanted cheap rent. Why? Because Maria felt as though the jobs that here were she was capable of doing. Why? Because I felt as though I was intelligent. Why? Because I had 4 years of experience when I first moved here. Okay, so I figured I would just have a little simple job. Rent was cheap back then. I figure I can make a living. That was it. I get invaded, right? People come in my life. I get invaded. Okay, some people felt entitled to invade me. Fine, whatever. Okay, but then I had to sit here and deal with unnecessary harassment, targeting campaigns, smears campaigns, and then I came to realize all of this is like interconnected, right? It was a hate campaign, plain and simple, and I will never accept it as anything else. But yes, of course I'm going to walk away. I understand. There are certain things that I don't have in common with people. Okay, I would never do the kind of stuff that other people do. I would never gang stalk somebody. I would never be a part of gang stalking. I would never sit here and participate in something like this on any level, knowing good and well what this sort of stuff does. If somebody was to knock on my door and say, hey, you know what, we're doing this to the next door neighbor here, you want to be a part of it? I would say, no, thank you. Sorry, if I'm going to ruin everybody's fun, that's too bad. I guess I'm going to be the little, the person who's like what do you call it, the spoiled sport or whatever. Don't ask me that to be a part of that activity either, because I'm going to say no. Why? Because I understand the kind of damage it causes, and because I have somebody who has a kind of ethics that believes in not harming other people. I know not to do that. See, this is where my beliefs and my core values and standards as they kind of come into line. I know by doing that, that's going to hurt her. Why do I need to hear her doing what she's doing in the privacy of her own home? Why do I need to sit here and think it's okay to thwart her plans? Why do I need to sit here and one up somebody and make her feel, or try to modify her behavior or whatever? Because I am not power hungry. Okay, I am here for spiritual reasons, and this is a form of my spirituality, which according to the United States, I have the right to have. So yes, there is no compatibility, and I understand that. I have been abused for very many years, okay, by people that at one time I thought that I respected or admired or thought were cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I look at this entire situation and how the demonic influence is so vast in it, okay, it becomes easy to sit here and like just literally turn your head and be like, okay, that's it. I'm done. Okay, so it's not any of this like Maria is none of that. None of that. Now I will say I do agree with some things that people have been saying. Like, when it comes to my inner child stuff, I wouldn't say I'm getting too deeply into my inner child, only because, it's a lot of stuff to have to carry out of my closet, okay? But I have started making, like, knitting caps, like, I knit, the knitting room, okay? So I had some yarn in my thing, and I figured I want to make sure that my son has his head covered. I want to have it be covered this fall. So I figured I'll start making some beanies, stuff like that. I've been doing a little bit of painting here and there. That's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing sinister. I don't have any big plans or anything. Like, I'm literally coasting. Because of all the other videos, everybody knows I made over 1,400 something videos, okay? And it's always been about me trying to make this plan, and then they would poo-poo it, and then whatever, drop this plan, and it's always some bullshit. Kingdom spouse, I can't even stand hearing that word anymore. Okay, all of it just makes me very angry. All of it makes me very sick, and all of it makes me feel extremely victimized. Okay, it's because somebody thought it was okay to discredit me based on their own erroneous belief. Their erroneous belief, just because a person doesn't have a 4-year degree. Okay, this is the arrogance of these people, and this is a good example of what I'm talking about. How the education system could cause arrogance in people. Okay, a lot of people look at that as a status symbol. Okay, and that's the only thing it serves as is a status symbol. Okay, it does not mean that a person's able to tell the truth, because I would tell you a lot of people who participated in this are nothing but goddamn liars, and it has nothing to do with them showing that they're intelligent, because a lot of people were goddamn stupid. Okay, and aside from that, when it comes to, is this religious thing about being moral, having morals, or being conscious, or having morals or integrity, these people have obviously shown to me that they had none. Okay, I'm talking about the people I had to deal with and can be confronted with in the workplace and everything else. Okay, all the way down the line. Ooh, it's been horrible. Okay, so I don't really, unless it's so instructional, like some of the videos I plan on releasing, I have to now consider changing my content a little bit. Okay, and I don't feel very warm towards people anymore, like, that bubbly, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm looking at these people and just, oh my gosh, like, when I found out I had a celebrity soul tribe, I didn't realize that these people came with this like, pathological sickness towards my father. And because they hated my father, they hated me. I had no idea. I didn't even know, like, or to see the correlation between my dad and me at that time. How all this, like, unfolded. I had no idea, right? All I can say is, I have never made excuses or bent the rules of racism for anybody. Like, I remember, like, when I was at work, somebody would slip up and say something stupid. They'll still say little derogatory things here and there. And I just start making a point, okay, we're done. Okay? And I would listen to what they have to say, like, as far as if they needed something, I would assist them. I would always be their work partner, but we wouldn't go out to lunch together. I would make sure of that. And, anything that I considered extra, we're done. I don't put up with that on any level. Okay? I don't excuse it. I don't, I don't. Especially at this point in my life. Okay? To me, if that comes out of a person's mouth, I deem you as wicked, and we're done. Okay? Because anybody who knows that to oppress another person, it's wicked. It's evil. Okay? And I've been oppressed by people that, that should have just stayed in the box. Should have just stayed in the radio box. Meaning, like, that's where they needed to be. They needed to be in that radio, or they needed to be, on that album, or they needed to be in some sort of memory, and that's it. They don't need to intersect with my life. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's okay because it's so-and-so. No, it's even worse that it's so-and-so. You know what I mean? Because now I understand just how this sickness of... Speaking of, I remember reading many years ago, about constructed musicians. What I mean by constructed musicians is like musicians that get together and they're formulated for a specific reason. All right? Not like, it was groups of people who just wanted to be together and they were, whatever. I had read that certain groups were formulated by the Tavistock Institute. Right? And I'm not mentioning any names or anything like that. And I kept thinking, okay, something like that seems like weird to me. Okay? But still, I understood that these particular people were associated with all that. But, you're just, you love your youth so much. You cherish the sentimental memories of people and the innocence. You cherish your innocence so much that somehow these people are associated with that. But deep down inside, on the other hand, like, when you dig deeper, and it's that part of the brain that you, like, oh, I don't want to think these people are mind-controlled or weird or anything, but the fact is, I've known this for a long time. I've known it for a very long time. The only reason why it's, like, shocking me now is because, okay, like I said, I was impacted. And somebody thought it was funny to basically put me in a situation where, they were basically trying to force me into suicide. I think it was okay that oh, I'm a black person, therefore I don't deserve to, look nice. I don't deserve to have earrings that I purchased at the 99-cent store. Mind you, some of these people who were bitching about what I was wearing, they have pearls and gold and everything else. Okay? I don't even have that kind of stuff. Okay? But a lot of stuff I had, I either made it myself. My clothes are either, if they come from a department store, they come from a department store that most people can afford to buy from. Okay? It's not like it comes from like Nordstrom or one of those other Saks Fifth Avenue or anything like that. Not to mention, not to say that I never had clothes like that, but if I did, believe me, I got it secondhand. I never had that. Okay? But their hatred for black people was so intense, they just wanted me to just strip me down and have no fucking regard for me whatsoever. And they want you to do it in a public manner. Do you honestly think that I'd want to be friends with somebody who would treat me like that? I don't fucking befriend racist people. It's that simple. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't. I don't feel like any sentiment. I don't feel like I need to love people from a distance. I feel like, you know what, it's now time for me to start being around the people that I do want to be around. And if I don't find my match makes, what I'm saying is, I don't find that best girlfriend in this life, I'm okay with it. I'd rather be by myself. You know what I mean? There's going to be people I have to end up talking to. Like, I go to the grocery store. I go to the bank. I go to, if I go to work or whatever. I don't need to deal with fakery people. Because what I need in life, if it's not something sincere, it's worthless to me. Okay? And I can tell you right now, the ratio of, or percentage of how many wicked people or twisted or, corrupt people there are against to people who have any sort of sense of decency, the numbers are kind of astounding. Okay, I understand. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a warrior. I have to take care of myself. If I'm my only friend, I'm good with that too. Okay, but one thing I'm done with is I'm done with people who think it's okay to use me as a punching bag or blame me for problems that they have, or think that it's okay for them to use God as an excuse for their own hatred. That's not going to cut it with me. I think there's a lot of people, also the message I got, so there's a lot of people who never realized that, yeah, okay, now I'm talking because it got to this point. Okay, so now they're listening to me. Okay, and now you understand, I understand why they were trying to suppress me. I understand why they thought that it's not a game, okay? First of all, I'm sorry that you trivialized my life like it was a game. My life is not a game, okay? It is to you because you've, what do you call it, overstepped boundaries, or you're a powerful person, but maybe you're just a little too greedy, or maybe your ancestors were. I don't know, okay? But yeah, I've pretty much struggled my entire life because of this issue, okay? And yeah, I did teach myself a lot of things because I've been interested in these topics. I remember I had mentioned one time about me and Steve Murray saying something to me a little bit after I started working at Murray Family Farm. He's like, what kind of books are you reading? And I told him I was reading this book about, I don't know, it had something to do with Nazis. I don't remember. And he was like, oh, that doesn't sound like something you'd read. And it kind of shocked me that he would say that because it's like, what in the world would you know about my reading habits? Okay? But people like to see me as the goofy person. I make racist white people feel comfortable when they see me as the person who is maybe goofy or silly or childlike. That's when they're feeling calm and they're feeling relaxed, okay? But if they see me, my intellectual side, then they need to jump on my stuff. They feel like they need to discredit it. They need to sit here and bully me. I don't need that garbage. Okay, it's been going on for years, okay? Now I'm sitting, it's 1:35 p.m. on Wednesday, smack dab in the middle of the week. Now, what is a grown woman doing at home smack dab in the middle of the week? Because it's a result of their envy and their hatred. That's why. Because I'll tell you what, I should be at a job or whatever, okay? Even though I hate the workforce right now, okay? I mean, the workforce to me, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and make any more effort to look for a job anytime soon. I'm looking, okay? I am looking. Okay, but I've dealt with a lot of trauma issues because people trivialized my life and thought that I was nothing. And I knew all along I was not nothing. Okay? That's not arrogance, it's just I knew that I was dealing with racism. And I knew I was dealing with something that was, wicked. But yes, most of the things that, when it came to this issue relating to the law and stuff like that, the law was something that was respected when I was younger, okay? And I remember thinking that it was important, and I did understand, things that relate to my rights, human rights, things that relate to, what do you call it, employment laws, some marital laws, but there's certain forms of law that I don't really know much about, like property law. I don't really know much about that. Okay, like houses. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. But yeah, certain forms of the law, legal system, certain things that relate to the United States. Of course, I've been interested in that. Like I mentioned recently, I just purchased a book on the Constitution. Okay, I had a similar book many years ago. Okay, I've read all kinds of stuff. Okay, why? Because it interests me, and maybe it was part of my past life, or maybe when I came back, as where I were from my residual memories that were buried and dormant from me being C.B. Braganza. Maybe at some point before C.B. Braganza had to end up dying in a mental institution, he probably wanted to come out and say something. Okay, like something's weird here. Okay, but you guys beat him to it. You put him in the insane asylum. Good job, right? You beat him. You beat him. But anyway, that's terrible, though. It's terrible. But what I'm saying is that I must have picked up where I left off from C.B. Braganza when I was a kid. Like this is one of the reasons why I must have had an interest in all the bizarre topics that I had. Okay, because I wanted to figure out what happened to me. Why did this happen? You know what I mean? Why was I encouraged to do something that I looked at as morbid? Like I must have felt that the whole thing was morbid and weird to me. The whole cloning thing. And I think the Emperor felt the same way. I don't think he felt like it was okay either. It's like, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't know. That's just me, okay? And I'm telling you how I feel. Now, it is what it is. I'm here. I'm trying to live a very spiritual life, a spiritual existence. I feel like there's more to explore spiritually for myself, and that's what I care about more than anything, okay? I hope, all I can say about me looking for work is I hope it's a decent job. Okay, I hope that maybe the work environment is a little bit better. I know people are trying to improve on work environments. I hope so. You know what I mean? But just like any other thing, I'm not going to let somebody stand around and disrespect me. Okay, I'm just not going to do that. Now, I will always put people in check, in a nice way, and I'm certainly not going to do anything that's going to cause any problems. I'm never going to do anything that's going to cause any problems, okay? But if somebody says something stupid, okay, I'm not going to sit here and be a punching bag for anybody. At all. Okay, so you can leave all of that Nazi bullshit behind. I'm not trying to deal with it. I also understand that the people had a lot against me about my clothes and me being. My clothes are the only thing I really give a crap about. Okay, no, I do not want to work a job where I'm in uniform. These people thought it was funny. They wanted to humble me for no reason. That would be different if I was sitting here showing off or whatever. This is my life. Okay, but I think what they were trying to do was make me compete against the girl over at Murray Family Farms or whatever, or it was just some white hateful person thinking that black people shouldn't like themselves. Okay? No, I don't think so. But as far as my clothes are not expensive. Like I either get them at the what do you call it? I either get them from like a regular department store that's affordable for everybody, or I've gotten them at thrift stores. I've even gotten some at Walmart. Okay? Now, just whatever, and if it appeals to me, if I like the color, if I feel like it expresses something, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. It's not something that I don't have any exclusive needs. I don't have any expensive needs. I don't sit here and spend shitloads of money on my clothes. I've always been a bargain shopper. Okay, I have refurbished old outfits from the thrift store. Like maybe I'm going to take a shirt, or maybe I remember getting a dress that was like a plus size dress, and what I did was I trimmed it down and made another dress out of it, or jumper type style dress out of it. I like to use my creativity to create my world. This is one of the things on my walls. Most of the art is made by me. I'm into being self-made. This is my thing. This is my philosophy. I'm into me. I stay focused on my stuff. This is what I'm into. Yeah, Mariaism, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know what it is, but to me, it's like, in my mind, it's like live by my hand, live by, my word, this is who I am, this is what I'm into, okay? And I mind my own business. I stay in my own lane, okay? And I resent people trying to, think it's okay to sit here and try to force me into situations where they're publicly putting me on display, making me be seen in their uniform so that you make it look like, oh, I'm exerting power over you. Fuck you. Okay? Now, I had just released a video called The Gods, okay? Because I think it's important. I was attacked for my religious beliefs, okay? My religious beliefs are I'm comfortable with. I would never impose my beliefs on anyone else. But this is what I am about. I'm an occultist, okay? I'm an occultist and I'm a philosopher, and this is something that this is my channel. And this is the stuff I believe in. And you know what? I was able to defend myself, okay? So if people are into it, then subscribe to my channel. Okay, and if you're not, then you continue going on here, but you know what, do so in peace. Okay, I'm not sitting here asking people to try to thwart plans, cause me problems. Do not sit here and try to convert me. The answer is no. Okay, I have a right to be here. Okay, and I have the right to live in peace. Okay, now, I will not be making a lot of videos other than instructional videos, things that relate to either the occult, things that either relate to philosophy, or maybe I might be talking about some sort of history or something like that. I will be doing my Monday, what do you call it, merriment type things. Just doing stuff to keep myself rolling. I'm just rolling along, do not have a plan. Okay, whatever happens, happens. Maria is just being free-spirited right now, beyond my control. Because like I said, I have shown several times that I put in effort, and guess what? My stuff got squashed. Okay, so I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can do. I'm now at a point where it's just like, whatever. There is nobody that I know in my life. I have basically, I'm standing alone. Okay, I'm standing alone. So there should not be any rumors about twin flames or anybody else. If you disgusted me, if you put my race down, if you thought it was okay to sit here and like try to put me on public display, try to humble me, try to treat me like I'm less than a person, no, I have nothing to do with you, nor will I ever. Okay, so let's just do the right thing and let's just keep things moving. Okay, be respectful, show your side of leadership, and let's just keep it moving. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I mean, like, you know, you do your thing, I'm going to need to do my thing, and let's just keep going. Okay, I don't want to have any hostilities. But I will be coming back with another video. Maybe I might post those tomorrow, whenever I get around to it. So I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will be back some other time. Take care. Bye-bye.